Hey folks, welcome back to the Toronto Marlies Insider. The Marlies face off against the Charlotte Checkers tonight, so let's jump into it. But before we do that, we want to give a special shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. SeatGeek is the best place to go if you're looking for tickets to a sporting event, concert or a live show. Click the link below and use code Toronto Marlies Insider, all one word, to get $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek will let you know if the tickets you want are a good value or not with their 1 to 10 rating system to ensure you always get the best bang for your buck. So make sure you check them out and use the promo code Toronto Marlies Insider to save $20. The Checkers took the lead via an unassisted goal from Patrick Giles. After a good save initially from Dennis Hildeby in the Marlies net, William Blageson's block/poor puck control, we're not really sure what it was, fell to the feet of Giles, and his wrister was good enough to beat Hildeby to give Charlotte the lead. The Marlies drew level thanks to a beautiful goal from Joe Blandisi. He received the puck along the blue line from Max Ellis and sent Checker centre Skylar Brindamore to the shops for some milk, before sending a nice shot past Spencer Knight to level things up. Toby Niemela was also credited with the assist. With just over 3 minutes left in the first period, and with Max Ellis serving a penalty for holding, Josiah Slavin put the Marlies ahead with a beautiful shorthander. A missed handle from Santu Kinnunen, definitely pronouncing that one wrong, allowed Slavin and Blandisi a 2-on-1 breakaway, and Blender laid another nice backhanded pass to get the assist, his third in 2 games, and Slavin was able to lift the puck on his backhand over the sprawling Knight. And that's how the first period ended, the Marlies leading 2-1. Shots in the period were 10-9 in favour of the Marlies. With Max Ellis in the box again, another goal was scored. This time it was by the Checkers. From the face-off, the Checkers spread the puck and eventually found Michael Benning at the point, and he was able to send his shot over the shoulder of Hildeby. Ryan McAllister and Alexander True were credited with the assists. Just over 2 minutes later, the Checkers took the lead. Toby Niemela, who we happen to be big fans of here, got caught puck watching just a little bit along with Max Ellis, which left acres of space for Lucas Carlson to rifle one home to give the Checkers the lead, very much against the run of play. The second period ended with the Checkers leading 3-2. Shots in the period were 14-5 in favour of the Marlies. Hopes were high in the Colosseum that the Marlies would take the lead considering how dominant they were in the opening 2 periods and how many good looks they got in that second period in particular. If we're being honest, the third period was a little bit of a snorefest. With the Marlies having a total of 14 shots on net in the second alone, it was a massive disappointment that both teams combined for only 11 shots in the third. There was one moment, however, from Zach Solo that threatened to raise the roof and the tempo of the game a little bit when he got into a fight with Riley Bezo. Solo channeled his inner Jordan Burroughs, Google him if you're not sure who he is, and secured the takedown and threw 1 or 2 punches, but the refs got in there very quickly to separate the two of them. The game ended 3-2 to Charlotte, with total shots being 31-18 in favour of the Marlies. Spencer Knight, who had some decent saves to be fair, was first star of the game and was credited with 29 saves, although a few of them kind of just hit him without much input from him. The feeling after the game was that he was there to be gotten at. He had more than a few wobbly moments behind his net, and the Marlies, if we're being honest, should have had a lot more goals than they did. Which brings us back to the lingering problem from last year: we lack an out-and-out goal scorer. Hopes were high that Nick Robertson could fill that role this year, but he only managed 1 shot out this time. Gambrell had 5 shots on net, Steves and Ambrosisi both had 4, so you'd be forgiven for expecting players of their calibre to have at least 1 or 2 goals between them. On the plus side though, the line of Blandisi, Shaw and Ambrosisi did have a lot of success in this game and were the perfect blend of work rate and finesse, although we do predict that when Bobby McMahon returns, he'll take Blandisi's place on this line. Here is what Josiah Slavin and head coach John Gruden had to say to the media after the game.
All right, despite the loss tonight, you guys outshot them 31-18. Were you happy with the team's effort as a whole?
Yeah, I think we played a good game. I thought we maybe deserved a little bit better than the outcome, but sometimes you run into a hot goalie like that. He's a really good player, so I got to give credit to him.
What's it like playing with Joe Blandisi? I know it's just 1 game together with him on that line, but he feeds you that pass for the nice goal. What's it like being on a line with him?
Oh, it's awesome. He brings so much energy to our team, and that's why he's got an A on the jersey. He's such a good leader, and just getting passes like that from him is just a perk.
The past couple of weeks, what's it been like you to join this organization and go through training camp and just getting to know the guys?
It's been great. I think we got a very close close team, close brotherhood with this group, and the transition from a different team to this team's been super easy, and couldn't be more thankful for the room of guys that we got.
Speaking of the transition, when you found out you were coming to this organization, were there any of the guys that you already knew or kind of heard from?
Yeah, there's quite a few guys I knew on the team already, so I was excited to be reunited with them.
What have you felt about your game, or what have you liked about your game since the beginning of the season?
I mean, we've only played a couple of games, but I just try to go out there and work as hard as I can, and that's kind of my motto, is just work as hard as I can and things will fall into place.
I'm just curious, you and Nick Abrazizi take a knee at center ice. I think this is the second game now. Are you guys praying?
Yeah, that's something I've been doing since I was 17 years old, and being in professional hockey wasn't going to make me stop doing it. So I just like to give the glory to God after a game like that.
You mentioned about the transition to a new team, and the team has a new coaching staff too. Does that make it any more difficult to come here, or easier to come here?
I don't think it has any difficulties with it. New coaching staff, everybody's in the same boat, trying to earn their spot and stuff like that. So it's an adjustment period for everybody.
What have been your first impressions on John Gruden as a head coach?
He's been awesome. He likes to keep it light in the locker room and keep it fun. It makes it enjoyable to come to the rink every day, so I got no complaints.
Coach, you guys couldn't pull off the win, but you did outshoot them 31-18. Were you happy with kind of the offensive pressure that you saw?
Yeah, I think at times we had them on their heels. Their goalie made some big stops when he had a chance. We started to get more traffic, and we were more dangerous now as the game went on. But they defended well and they made it hard on us. But again, our guys didn't quit.
I know it's a small sample size, but even with switching up the lines, it seems that Joe Blandisi can pretty much play with anyone. Were you impressed with him moving up to that line? I
really like the way he plays. He plays with a lot of energy. Again, you can play him up and down the lineup, and his teammates love playing with him. So he just brings that speed and that energy that any team needs and wants.
A lot of times in this league, it's hard for teams to beat another 2 nights in a row, which is good for you guys because you go right back up against them tomorrow. How do you prepare in such a small turnaround?
Well, we just got to give them the things that worked and get them excited about for tomorrow night's game, because no one likes the outcome, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of good things that we did within the game that's going to give us an opportunity to show them, and then for them to understand, and then try to go out tomorrow and execute.
Unfortunately, you guys weren't able to capitalize on the power play tonight. What did you see as kind of the reason behind that? Well,
I think we had better looks. I thought they worked harder. You got to outwork the penalty kill. I mean, they're a tough penalty kill. They haven't given up a goal yet this season. But we got to sometimes simplify it. Like when you're looking for certain things and you don't get it, you got to be willing to get more bodies to the net and get shots through, and then that might spark other things to open up. So I did like some of their looks they had. 5-on-3, not so much. And again, I'm going to take blame for that because I haven't really worked with them that much on that, because it usually doesn't happen. Now it happens 2 games in a row, so that one's on me.
In his first AHL game, how did you see Robert Mastermone tonight?
He drew a couple penalties. He's obviously not afraid to engage, and he was in there. So I mean, by him drawing a couple penalties is huge. So I liked his game. For his first game as a Marlie in the AHL. I mean, I really liked his game.
This is your first time seeing Zach Solo in a live game. What do you think about his energy out there, and also his personality?
Well, I always say to him when he's around the locker room, why is it everyone I hear it's always you? He has that energy, and it's contagious, and I like it. And how he is off the ice is how he is on the ice. So I really like that. He's a good teammate, and he's a good young man, and he played really well for us.
This one will certainly hurt the Marlies. I know it stung a lot of fans in attendance, and we're all expecting a big response from them. The good news is that they have the perfect opportunity for revenge tomorrow when we play the Checkers again in the Colosseum. But before that, another huge thank to our now season-long sponsor SeatGeek for their continued support. Make sure you click the link below and use our promo code to save $20. As always, thanks for watching. We hope to see you at the Colosseum, but if not, we'll catch you in the next one.